Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It is Just Koi here, and I want to thank you all so very much for showing my first video so much love and for subscribing to my channel. I'm going to say the same thing almost every time in every video. Go ahead and like and share and subscribe to my channel and like this video. And don't forget, when you subscribe, to turn on that little bell right by the what's it called, so you get the notifications. There we go. So anyways, I kind of wanted to talk about something that's still kind of a hot topic in regard to the black community specifically. Excuse me, y'all, it's like super duper hot, and I realized like the only way I'm gonna be able to get a video out during normal daytime hours is to do it right before I go into work. So that's what we're doing. You don't know by now, Dr. Umar Johnson, who's a Pan-Africanist with 6 degrees, a psychologist and all other good stuff, who has been the topic of controversy for some of his topics, like how he feels about interracial relationships and interracial marriages and the black community X, Y, and Z. He was recently on the Roland Martin show. Now, he's done a few interviews with the Breakfast Club. I'm going to link the interview that he did on Roland Martin's show in the description box below. It's about an 18-20 minute video, and honestly, I just wanted to give my thoughts and my opinion on it because I really feel like it's something important to talk about, and I do think that it is necessary to bring it to the table of discussion. So firstly, okay, the video, I pay attention to body language. Whenever I talk to somebody, whenever I'm having a conversation, usually a person's body language will like give them away first. That's they'll tell, you know, they'll be able to show you like, I'm really not interested in this conversation, like I really don't know why you're talking to me, but they won't say it in their face. It'll be like really defensive posture. Roland Martin's posture was kind of like, if you look at like two dogs almost, and one is trying to claim territory, he was kind of like in that I'm the alpha of this situation right now and you're going to listen to me type thing. But he also seemed very disinterested and cold towards Dr. Umar Johnson, who was on his show. You know, they don't just say, hey, I want to go on your show. It's like, no, you're an invited guest, so you should be treated as such. But from the jump, Roland Martin first, I believe, he brought about Dr. Umar Johnson being his credentials being questioned, and Dr. Umar Johnson gave him the breakdown of where he got his degrees from, and that kind of shut Roland up, because like the entire interview, I feel like Roland was trying to put the egg on Dr. Johnson's face, and it just ended up doing the reversal. He talked about his credentials, then he talked about how Frederick Douglass, so Dr. Umar has always claimed to be a blood relative of Frederick Douglass. In the video, if you watch the video, in the video, he breaks down the lineage, family lineage, of how he is related to Frederick Douglass, not necessarily of like his children, but how he is like a distant cousin relative of Frederick Douglass due to Frederick Douglass's half brother. I believe his name is Stephen Bailey. I want to say Stephen Bailey, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, again, that was like the second time that he put like Roland Martin in his place. Like, dude, like, it's okay. Like, I get this all the time. He even read a statement from the family of Frederick Douglass, like that was supposed to do something. Nothing at all. So anyway, so then he starts to go into one of the most controversial topics Dr. Umar Johnson has talked about to date, is interracial marriages and how he feels about interracial marriages. Now, as a disclosure, so far, I am a fan, I'm not a fan, I'm a supporter of both Dr. Umar Johnson and Roland Martin. However, with that support comes being able to look at them objectively and to know when they're wrong and when they're right, and being able to say so. As they start to get on the topic of not even interracial marriage, because it was very briefly that they talked about interracial marriage, Roland Martin and Dr. Umar Johnson, very, very brief. He then started to talk about the school that Dr. Umar Johnson was trying to open, and the property that he was going for was actually sold to a commercial developer. So the money that was donated to him, that he had fundraised and earned and stuff like that, Roland Martin was like, well, what happened with the money? And it's like, I will tell you what happened to the money. I still have the money. We're still looking for another school, which is basically what Dr. Umar Johnson said. Now, as you watch the interview, it gets to the part where it just kind of just like really makes me look at Roland Martin like in his professionalism in a whole nother light, because they were talking about the school. Now, the school was a very good conversation about charter schools, and it could have went into a whole nother direction about black boys and black girls in schools and how they're not treated the same, they don't get the same educational opportunities. It could have went into a whole nother thing. Roland Martin opens up this panel that nobody even saw, And the first person to speak on this panel is a female. I think her name is Lauren. I want to say her name is Lauren. Off the bat, she was argumentative and attacking. She instantly went into the interracial marriage topic and decided to bring up the statistic of how there are 190 million white people and like 43 million black people. And she was like, oh, so you're telling me that you don't expect us to basically like intermingle? And I kind of felt like you basically like killed your own argument, only because it's more in support of actually black people staying together. If those are the numbers, if there are 190 million of them and 43 million of us, then we need to even out those friggin' odds, because those aren't fair. That's not a fair fight. So then I would stay with a black man to increase the odds of my people staying around and our numbers staying strong, compared to her saying, like, where she didn't really give black people credit to want to stay within the African American community when they date and procreate, because it's just easier to date outside your race because there's so many more of them. Like, sis, you just like, you killed your own chances right there. Like, to have a logical argument, like, you just dubbed it. So another guy on the panel, I don't even think I picked up his name, but another guy on the panel then got defensive because Dr. Umar Johnson said, you know, if you're a black man and you marry a white woman, you don't really get much respect from me. And it's regardless of what you've done for the struggle, you haven't fully committed to the struggle because you decided to opt out of the struggle by marrying a white woman or a white man. And, you know, it's kind of like you're flip-flopping, like, oh, you're so about pro-black and everything like that, but then you go ahead and marry someone that's not black. So it's kind of like, it doesn't make logical sense. My personal opinion, love who you want to love. I am for black love. I love to see black men and black women together. I have family members and friends that are dating, you know, white people or Asian people or whatever the case may be, and that's their prerogative. It's not what I personally care for, but love is love. You can't put a color on love. However, I personally feel this way. It's not for nothing. Love is love. I get that. However, the person you are with has to, in some way, shape, or form, especially if you're black, understand your struggle. There's a difference between empathizing and sympathizing, and honestly, neither one helped me. Like, if I get pulled over and I get thrown in jail and my boyfriend just so happens to be white, there's not really much he can understand as to why it infuriates me, why it bothers me if I got pulled over for nothing, if I didn't do anything wrong. He may not fully grasp why it matters to me so much that this is just despicable, compared to if I was with a black man who might just be just as mad as I am, but I would probably be grateful that it was me and not him, because he could have got shot. Okay? So I kind of feel like, yes, love is love, and you should be able to love whoever you want to, and it should not discredit your blackness. Like, honestly, who you love doesn't discredit nor give you more credit for your blackness, because there are some black people that are married and voted for Trump. So, I mean, that right there is a discredit of your blackness. I mean, you voted for Trump. I can't deal with it. I can't do it. I just can't. Especially if you're black and voted for Trump. Like, I don't know. You're an oxymoron. Like, I can't. Anywho, back on topic. So basically, like, once this panel opens up, it turns into an ambush attack on Dr. Umar Johnson. This lady called him a liar. She was yelling at him. She was just so unprofessional. Honestly, just so very unprofessional. And at one point in time, when she called him a liar, I guess Dr. Umar Johnson got sick of her calling him a liar. C word, which is like the end part of raccoon. And that's when Roland Martin stepped in and was like, I will not allow that kind of language on my show. It's like, okay, listen to this, right? Liar, technically, to someone that has not lied in regard to their career, in regard to their educational background, in regard to their credentials, in regard to their lineage, someone that has not lied and you call them a liar is derogatory. is an insult, is uncalled for and unnecessary. So if I just so happen to go into my vocabulary and pull out something that's just as equally derogatory or leaves as much of a sting as you calling me a liar, now you choose to step in. I've been sitting here getting disrespected this entire time. Not once did Dr. Umar Johnson come out and call this lady a liar or anything like that. He said one word. Granted, that word has a lot of historical with it. However, it was one word. The entire time she was screaming, "You're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar," nobody said anything. But the moment the C word came out, oh, I'm not going to allow that on my show. You shouldn't allow any name calling, period. That's no excuse. If you're going to be an example, do not allow any name calling. You can say whatever you want to say to each other, but you cannot call each other out of each other's names, because there's enough of that going on outside of the political sphere, outside in the black community, where we call each other names all the time. Liar is just the most innocent one. Okay? So do not sit here and call each other any names. Any names, period. That's what he should have said. Not, we will not have black people using derogatory terms for each other. No, we will not have, you will not use that language to address each other, period. No negative, none of that. No insults, none of that. But he didn't do that. The only guy on that panel that was of any kind of reasoning was, I believe his name is Scott. And I applauded him for how he stepped in and really took it down for like 2 seconds, because then that lady just amped it right back up. But he took it down and agreed with Dr. Umar Johnson on something. And again, watch the video. Like it's a very interesting interview, to say the least. And he agreed with Dr. Umar Johnson, and he also then turned around and disagreed with him on something. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be just because someone differs opinions from you so much. And that's a life lesson. Just because somebody differs opinions from you does not mean that they deserve any less of your respect than if they agree with you all the time. Because nobody wants a yes man. Nobody wants to just be friends with someone or know somebody that always agrees with what they say, like, all the time. Like, no, that's annoying. Like, I really don't need you to agree with me all the time. I would actually like to have an intellectual debate about certain things, because I want to hear your perspective and your opinion on it as well. Final thoughts, like, I really believe that this was an ambush. I do believe that Roland Martin should, which he's not going to, should issue an apology for how his panel treated the guest that was invited. You know what I mean? Like, whether you agree with his opinion or not, whether you like his perspective or not, you still deserve to give him respect, because he did not disrespect you. So you should have respected him enough to sit there and hear what he had to say. And then intellectually, rather than like a child feeling you had to yell and call names to get your point across and be heard, and continue to play into this angry black woman stereotype that we're all loud and we can easily go to the negative to try and get our point across, because we don't know how to use words enough to give an intellectual debate on why we don't agree with you, and have facts and statistics that aren't just pulled out of the friggin' sky. Okay? That didn't happen. And I feel like, even though it probably won't happen, an apology should be given to Dr. Umar, because that was just unprofessional. It was just very unprofessional. It was an environment I personally wouldn't go back to if I was invited, unless I had gotten a formal public apology for what had happened, because it was absolutely ridiculous. It made no sense. Whether you like the guy, whether you don't like the guy, you can look at him. He defended himself. There were certain parts where Roland even cut him off mid of his statement. He was trying to answer a question. He's like, okay, well, you have this amount of time left. And he's like, I will answer your question if you let me give me the chance to answer it. I'll answer it. Thank you. Like, that's exactly one part of the video. That's exactly what he did. And it's like, dude, how is it possible that everyone except for one person on this panel disrespects the guests? And that's okay. Like, if the shoe was on the other foot, come on now. Come on now. If the shoe was on the other foot, y'all know that would not fly. It would not fly, period. I think it's time to get a discussion going. I'm going to end this video now. You guys, let me know your thoughts. If you watched the interview of Dr. Umar Johnson on Roland Martin, even if you just look it up on your own, on TV One Network, look it up, watch it. You want to share your thoughts and opinions, please do so. I love the comments. I absolutely love the love. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like, share this video. Give it a nice thumbs up. And until next time, be blessed and progress.